J Train has an idea, so we're going to explore it. Welcome back to Almost Above Average. Hit subscribe and let's roll. What you got?
Epstein files. What the hell is going on?
It's confirmed. Totally confirmed. Trump is in them. He is completely in them. There is emails from Epstein to a million people talking about Trump. I have one right here from Michael Wolff. Here, I'll put it on the screen for you.
Who's Michael Wolff
Michael
first?
Wolff is the reporter that had seen, I forget what organization he works for.
He was a biographer working with Epstein on a book.
Right. He was doing a documentary on Epstein, and he's got a ton of insider information. Here's just one of them. This is from Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein. I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say that Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. So that says it all right there.
How do you outlaw political correctness?
I
I
don't know, but everything in that little
thought there was a
article,
First Amendment here.
right? Everything in that email just totally Trump is the guy. He's the main person.
So the hard part of this is that in nothing that I have read, and all that I've read like 3 or 4 of these emails,
Mhm.
it's a lot of bolster. It's a lot of I got him by the balls or he's a this, but like, is there anything that says he did the bad thing specifically? Like,
There was one thing, maybe not like the actual sex or the like proof of touching like inappropriately, I guess. But Michael Wolff has stated that he's seen some underage looking ladies that were sitting on his lap and he had a wet stain on his pants. What else?
did you see the email about him spending time with one of the girls?
Yes,
He spent the dog that doesn't bark email.
I have that one right here. Let's look at that one, everyone, because this is crazy. This is telling the entire story right here. Oh, can you guys see it? This is from Jeffrey Epstein to what, GMAX? I think it's
Giselle
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I think
Yep.
it's Ghislaine Maxwell. I want you to realize that dog hasn't barked. That dog that hasn't barked is Trump. And then there's a redaction for a victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. in 75%. I don't know what that means. But what that is saying to me is that Trump hasn't talked yet. He is actively being blackmailed by Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein, is what it looks like. And
Did
Jeffrey is
you
pointing to a specific victim that spent hours with Donald Trump at his house.
and you don't know who that victim is? I know who that victim is.
I think it's Virginia Giuffre.
White House confirmed it was Virginia Giuffre.
The White House confirmed it?
Yeah.
Wow. They have been having a hell of a time today. Everyone. That has been very funny to me today. I've been working all day, but I have seen the whole left. They are beside themselves trying to get as many videos as they can about these emails. And
Mhm.
then the right and Caroline Levitt, they got socks in their mouth. They don't know what to say. It is
They
ridiculous.
are so I watched Caroline Levitt try to speak to the Epstein emails, and how she worded and the point that she used was not relevant directly to answering the question when you really get into it,
Mhm.
but it could be taken at face value for those that aren't good at critical thinking to mean that they've already talked about it.
Right.
And I thought that discernment was interesting. But how much you know about Virginia Giuffre and her suicide
I don't know much about her
or
suicide.
her death? Sorry, her death. She got what was it? Died in a car accident or something?
It was a suicide. She killed herself.
And yeah, so did you see the thing? Oh, died by suicide in April 2025. Wow, that was recent.
Yeah. I think there's
Did
something
you
fishy with that.
did you see the thing where she reached out to people and said, "Just in case, I want to let you know I am not suicidal. in case somehow I die.
I did not
She
see that.
made that she outreached on that, yeah.
Well, there was another death, and I was watching the Midas video from the Midas Touch earlier, and there was another mysterious death linked with the trial of Epstein. I think it was in 2019 or something. There was another mysterious death. Like, huh? I wonder. This whole thing, man. I really think that when Trump blamed the Clintons for all this, it's one of those things where accuse the other of that which you are guilty. Like, I think the Trump regime is responsible for the Trump or for the Epstein murder. I think he was murdered now. Like, the more of this stuff that comes
The
out makes me
Epstein?
think more conspiratorially.
And who was president when he was arrested and when he died?
Donald Trump. Yep, that makes sense. And there's minutes missing on the video. Like, we've already done a lot of videos on this.
And who spent Trump's first term in office, his first Thanksgiving at his place?
Was it Epstein?
Yeah,
I did
that
not
came
know
out
that.
too.
Tell me that story.
The only thing I know is Epstein was with Trump and celebrated Thanksgiving for Trump's first Thanksgiving in office during his first term.
Yeah.
So they were friends, at least up till then.
I don't think they were
Trump
friends. I think
invited
we're in a
him.
situation where Trump is trying to stay out of jail because Trump knows that Epstein has all this stuff on him. It seemed like their relationship shifted after he said he was no longer a member. There was another email I saw from Jeffrey Epstein that said, "I was never a member at Mar-a-Lago," or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of posthumous statements that aren't adding up based on this kind of information that's coming out. So Trump said he barred Epstein from Mar-a-Lago way before he became president, but then Epstein also showed up to Thanksgiving with Donald Trump
In like 2017 or
years
something.
later.
Wasn't it like
Donald
2017?
Yeah, and was at Trump's wedding to Ivanka or whatever her name is, Ivana. Like, there's a lot that doesn't add up here. So, do you know much about the Russian bank money
No.
that Trump and Epstein are tied to?
Oh,
Yeah,
I did hear some of that. Yeah.
several senators have accused Trump of helping to launder or pay Epstein almost $1 billion that took a path through a Russian bank.
I believe it. There were some emails, communications from Epstein to Lavrov, and I think Lavrov is one of the he's part of the Russian leadership or whatever. But they were
Yeah.
talking shit about Trump.
So, do you know much about Epstein being accused of being a Russian spy?
Yes. Well, I don't know much about it, but I have heard that.
So the rumor goes, and I don't have any direct evidence. I've just from what I've heard from somebody that heard it from the reality or something like that, was that Epstein was solicited by the Middle East, a certain group in the Middle East. This is all rumor. I don't know how much of it's true, maybe none of it, to talk to leading American scientists to try to get information on nuclear capabilities, powers, weapons, etc., whatever nuclear stuff there is, so that they could have it. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize is Russia was using or partnered with or fronting several of the regimes like Iran in the Middle East. And there has been a very famous person in the Epstein files that has state knowledge of nuclear weapons. Do you know who that was?
No.
Stephen Hawking.
Didn't he pass away?
Yeah, but he was also like a super genius with knowledge and that kind of shit. So,
He had knowledge on most things, I would argue.
on a lot of scientific stuff.
Yeah.
And there has been reports of other scientists saying that they were approached by him and tried to become friends with him. So, I'm going to mark that as a probable in my book. So, if you have the Russian connection to Epstein via the Middle East, and you have banking connections related to Trump and Epstein, what can you theorize based on that for Trump?
That Russia's to blame for everything.
Or that maybe Trump was directly in the middle of a lot of it?
I think he might be, but in a blackmail sort of way. I think Russia has leverage over him. It looks like Epstein had a lot of leverage over him. Like, in some of these emails, Jeffrey is saying, like, Donald Trump is dangerous. He has no good bone in his body, like, Epstein didn't really like him as a man once he got to know him, it seems like.
So there's questions of validity here versus posture that I think is worth asking. So we are hearing about this posthumous. We're hearing about this very late,
Mhm.
where he is giving up what could be validatable emails, like during Trump's second term.
These ones that we're talking about?
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
don't know
they're
when.
validated. They were released by the Justice Department.
So when were these emails sent before Trump took power? Right, based on information, the way Epstein's talking, it sounds like some of these emails are before he got elected.
The dog that doesn't bark email was April 2nd, 2011.
So before he got elected.
Yep,
It was when he started doing his run up to election, right?
yep. And that Michael Wolff email that says, "I think you should let him hang himself," that came out December 15, 2015. So that was
When
right up to
was
the run.
and when was he elected?
In 2016, that would have been January 2016, right? So that was what was this,
No, he took
December? So this was
office.
right at the end.
No, no, he took office 2016. He was elected in 2015.
Oh, that's true. That is very true. He was very involved. Michael Wolff and Epstein was very involved in
Mhm.
the campaign, sounds like.
So, based on this, it sounds like there was still stuff going on between them right at the beginning of the election.
Yeah,
And based on what I'm hearing is eyewitness reports, he was involved with the Trump presidency to some degree. The presidency.
right. Here's another one we didn't look at yet. So this one from JG Vacation to Michael Wolff. Redacted, Mar-a-Lago, redacted. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member. Of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop.
What does that mean to you?
I think that's Epstein to Michael Wolff. Um, I think he's defending himself like, I was never a member. How can he say that I was kicked out of Mar-a-Lago? I was never a member. That's kind of what it sounds like. Of course
So
he knew
how
about the girls.
so how I'm reading this is the statement that Trump made about him asking him to leave. I think that Trump said he asked me to resign is he's saying it as is that's bullshit. That never actually happened. I was never a member. Of course he knew about the girls. So how I'm reading this is he knew that Ghislaine was taking girls from Mar-a-Lago to sex traffic them, and he knew about it.
Yep.
And he got mad when one of his girls got sex trafficked. Do you
Virginia.
remember when you and I had a podcast a while back and we were talking about Trump on camera
Saying he owned
saying
a
to the
person.
world that
Yes.
he stole her from him and
Yep.
what how we said it sounded like he was talking about property.
Yes.
It sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
I
This
do.
confirms it in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I was trying to see if there's any more in there, but
So do you
there was 20,000 of these emails released reportedly. Those we only went through like
do you
3 of
have
them.
do you have any idea how long the Justice Department's had this content?
Probably 2000. Oh, shit. I would imagine that it was when they indicted him, right? And they went in there and they seized everything.
So that would be Trump's first term,
That would have been like 2016?
2016, yeah.
Huh.
So Trump was elected. This information was turned over to the DOJ around the beginning of Trump's election. So, what can you infer from that into this content being in the hands of a bipartisan group where Republicans, some volume of Republicans, had direct access to this content at the beginning of Trump's term, and they helped him get reelected a second time? What can you infer from that?
He's been playing damage control since like 2014 and 2015 with Epstein. He's been hiding something. He is the biggest player in this ring. Like I think almost bigger than Epstein.
What I'm hearing is that many Republicans, so what I'm hearing, and this could be wrong, is that many Republicans, if not pretty much all of them, knew that Trump was directly involved with, or at least heavily connected to, this illicit behavior, if not implicated in being a critical member of this horrible enterprise, and ignored it. Not only did not throw him out after being impeached twice, did not throw him out knowing that he was involved in all this, and then helped him get elected a second time. Some number of Republicans are complicit directly
Mhm.
in what we believe we see from these emails as being Trump involved in this shit up to his eyeballs,
Mhm.
knowing it and them helping him become president of the United States for personal or political gain.
Here's what else we can infer from that is that Cash Patel, Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, you are all complicit in this. You have all been actively hiding it. Cash Patel, you for sure have seen everything here. Pam
So
Bondi,
it
you have
is
for sure have seen all of this.
I'm also going to believe, which could be wrong, that Bondi and Patel both committed perjury
1000%.
in front of the Senate based on this information. So either significant dereliction of duty by not having looked at it, asked about it, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, or they know about it and they directly lied to the rest of Congress
What do you
and
guys
the
think?
American
Let me know
people.
in the comments
So the big question I've had all day is why the fuck are we just now hearing about this?
about the emails.
Like why did Wolf wait so long, years really, to turn these over to the DOJ?
These
Why
came
is it
these were from
why
the
didn't
estate.
he, now here's the thing, to the best of my knowledge, and I could be wrong, he could have gone to the press with this information anytime since 2016.
Right?
So 9 years he's been sitting on this shit and could have helped save America in my mind,
I know
and he
why, because
sat
he's
on it.
kind of involved in this, and that's gotta make you feel like, "Well, should I tell everyone? Because everyone's gonna think that I'm involved in it, and it kinda looks like I'm involved in this." And I don't know. I don't know if he was or not, but he does have insider knowledge that he did not be forthcoming about. So, he is complicit in some of this, because he shoulda came out when he knew what he knew.
All right, so before we go, I want you to TLDR this. Explain it like I'm 5.
TLDR, what does that mean?
Too long, didn't read. It's the summary that somebody can go to capture the sum of the valuable information from the thing. So explain it like I'm 5. What do I need to take away from everything you said?
What you need to take away from this episode is that Donald Trump is definitely the ringleader behind this Epstein pedophile ring. And the emails are proving it. There's a lot of other people that are complicit in it. Bondi, Cash, Bongino, and I'm sure a host of a bunch of other white males that are hiding it. Maybe some
Mike
others.
Johnson.
Mike Johnson for
Like
sure,
I can't see how Mike Johnson is not directly implicitly involved
right?
with his access to information, him shutting down Congress and preventing the vote and delaying the swearing in of
Catalytic
the
revolt.
Democrat. So, like, when you add it all up, it sounds like to me multiple Senate members, multiple state and House members are involved in protecting a most likely pedophile and sex trafficker. That's how it sounds to me.
So MAGA, enjoy your pedophile. Please don't vote for him again. How are you accepting that? How are you receiving this news as Trump is a pedophile? I'm sure I'm going to see this in the comments. You're all going to make a million excuses how it didn't really happen. I'm getting
Are
sick
we
of that.
winning yet? Are we winning yet? Did
Yeah.
y'all own the libs?
Yeah.
Like, did you own the libs?
It's funny how they think they own me in the comment. It's like, dude, you made the dumbest comment I've ever seen. Speaking of which, drop a comment, hit subscribe. This is almost above average, and it's going down. The Epstein files are out, kind of. But we can see now what has been happening.
So, last question. Is there anything else that you think most people will need to be convinced of what you're saying?
Not MAGA. Like I think the MAGA, true and true, they forever until they die will always make excuses for Donald Trump. Same with people for Nixon, same for Hitler. I'm sure Stalin has some people out that still support him. Like he wasn't that bad. But I think anyone in the middle of center or to the right of center and to the left, we should all be in the same boat now. We can see the evidence together. Anyone with a normal brain can process this correctly. So you tell me.
Thank you for almost above average. Subscribe, follow. See you next time. Enjoy. Good luck. Read, learn, and go get rid of this orange psychopath
Bye.
legally.
Legally.
Not
No
violently,
violence.
legally. No violence,
We here at
legal.
the Almost Above Average podcast, we support democracy. This is very pro democracy. All right, we'll see you on the next one.